Broadcasting from beautiful downtown Canton, Ohio, it is Mixed Mornings with Matt Fantone. You guys know on a regular basis, I'm trying to shine a spotlight on the people and the organizations doing good things in this community. And sitting across the board from me, one of those people doing good things in this community in so many different ways. You're here as a stand-up comedian. You're also a Canton firefighter. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever on Mixed Mornings with Matt Fantone, Chris Snyder, how are you, dog?
It is one of the coolest intros I've ever gotten.
Well, you deserve it.
Thanks,
man.
brother.
You deserve
that was great.
it.
I'm just excited to be in your studio.
No doubt about it, man. But let's be real. Here you sit in the historic WHBC studios. And Chris, I know you love Mix 94.1, but you are a 1480 WHBC fan at your core, right?
Oh, always. Yeah. I mean, that's where we always listen to the local sports. That was always our jam.
Yeah, I know growing up that was a big thing for you. But, Chris, you're coming in here today to talk about your upcoming event. And before we talk about what's happening at the Palace on March 22nd, I want to give you a chance to introduce SAD Team 6 and kind of what you guys are all about and how this whole thing got started.
All right, excellent. So SAD Team 6 is, you can check out sadteam6.com. We're on the socials. But it started... in January of last year, I took a ride with a loaded weapon, and I did not intend to return back home. Things got very dark for me. I was very fortunate to encounter some law enforcement officers that were very kind, took care of me, got me to a facility, got me some help. Then our union president and my wife got me convinced to go to a facility in Maryland called the International, or the IAFF Center of Excellence. The IAFF, I think I put too many F's on that. But International Association of Firefighters, that's the union that the Canton firefighters belong to. While I was there in Maryland for several weeks, I met a lot of people, and we started calling it SAD Camp. And they hated that. They hated we called it SAD Camp. So we did it more. And because firefighters have an immaturity and an irreverence to them. But while we were there, a few of us started calling ourselves SAD Team 6.
Okay.
Because we were the elites of SAD Camp for one reason or another. And when this became a real thing, when this became a movement more than an idea, it was those guys. It was that time that I had to pay that homage to. It was easy to name it.
So, SAD Team 6, and I think it's really worth noting here, we're talking about what was one of the lowest moments of your life when you were ready to go take your own life. Correct. And yet you and I are sitting here laughing.
Yeah.
And I think there's something important, and I think that's really where this next chapter of SAD Team 6 comes in. So how did it go from, hey, I'm in treatment in Maryland as a firefighter dealing with the trauma and dealing with the PTSD and dealing with all those different things? How did this turn into I'm going to go be up on stage and be funny about this?
A lot of it came from the original SAD Team 6. We kind of threw together a talent night there. There wasn't much going on. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there were a lot of Shawshank references while we were in there,
Oh, just a quarter mile of sewage just rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to get
out. Yeah. It was a lot like that. We made all those we were in prison jokes, which we were not. We were so taken care of.
Of course.
But it just got to the point that we all started getting more comfortable with each other, and it was right around Super Bowl time. We had a killer Super Bowl party. I made friends with some of the people that worked there that had access to the outside stuff, and I did a little wheeling and dealing, and we had a huge snack party. So for a whole minute, I was Red from Shawshank because I was
get anything.
I was the guy that could get you anything. Yeah,
just that poster up on the wall every year, a new one.
Oh yeah, Mischief.
So you guys took it out, you found humor in each other. You found
Yes.
some sort of what do I want to say? Some brotherhood, some sort of kinship, some sort of gallows humor where it's like, hey, we've been through a lot. So explain how we got that to Canton, Ohio.
The humor, it became obvious to me that the humor is what was opening up conversations. It was opening people up. I started telling a few jokes about it, some gallows jokes that either get me those great big laughs or those great big groans.
I can't believe he just said that.
And those groans, but the only thing that one-ups that, Matt, is the forbidden laugh. It's that space where, especially in front of a crowd, where they go, oh. That's one of my absolute favorite sounds on the planet. And honestly, this is exactly how this went down. But they dropped me in a psych ward for a couple days before I agreed to go to Maryland. But I was sitting in front of my first mental health professional, and he said, "Why did you do it?" And without missing a beat, I said, "It was getting pretty dark inside my head, so I thought I'd put in a skylight."
Chris, come on.
Right?
Come on.
But that moment, I knew I still had my sense of humor. And I don't recommend it because he didn't think it was very funny at all. But as I told that story in Maryland, I bonded with people. Then they would tell me their stories. And then we were making light of our situations and our traumas. And all of a sudden, we were laughing and talking.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. The mental health struggle, anyone going through it knows how serious and how real it is. And certainly people who are dealing with a suicidal loved one or considering those, thoughts themselves, it's very serious. But at the same time, like you said, that driving force and that ability to bring people together through comedy is just so very important. And whether you're a comedian up on stage like Chris does, or it's just kind of cracking that joke, I think we've all had that moment with somebody. And it can be about the worst things. It can be about these traumatic things that we've gone through and these, shared experiences. And maybe talking about them doesn't feel comfortable, but laughing about
Absolutely.
them does.
Absolutely.
Laughing about it.
Yeah,
does.
it takes the sting out of the darkness of that.
I can't tell you, just from funerals I've been to, how many more times you come home from those saying, "Oh my gosh, I laughed more than I cried. I cried and I was sad and it hurt.
Yeah.
But I laughed more than I cried." And I think there's something universal about that. I think there's something special about that.
Absolutely.
And on March 22nd, you guys are going to bring that to the stage. Stand up for them. Tell me a little bit about it.
So it became this is the way we're intending to fundraise for our initiatives. It was an easy formula. Every city has comedians and firefighters.
Right.
And comedians and firefighters have a lot in common. But here in the city, it was obvious to me that the inaugural had to be here in the city. I love this city. My dad restored the cars here at the Canton Classic Car Museum.
Love it.
One little 7th Street away is the fire station I work at. Now I'm across the street here, WHBC, Mix 94.1, this classic time capsule. It had to be Canton. It absolutely had to be Canton.
And make no mistake about it, I think this is one of those things that, dude, the Hall of Fame City is going to embrace. When it comes down to it, the appreciation to first responders, I hope that it's still going to step in the right direction, and I hope there's a little bit more support, and I hope there's a little bit more love. But the comedy scene here, too, is there's a bunch of really, really funny people in this area and in Northeast Ohio. So who are you going to be bringing to stage with you? Who's going to be up there?
We've got Rob Coleman.
Hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious.
He's really funny.
Yep. He was a finalist in the World Series of Comedy, which is kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
A little bit of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
We've got Leandro, Matt King, Trevor Scott. Oh, and GW now. GW is one of the funniest. She is so amazing. If you meet her, you love her. It's just that simple. And so excited to have her on the lineup. The tickets are available at the Canton Palace website. I saw we were on the marquee, almost locked the brakes up. I was like, oh, that's me.
No, the Palace is such a beautiful place. And, like, you know, as you say, the first one's got to be in Canton, and there's no other place to have it other than the Palace. It's just, you know, iconic for a reason. And if you've ever been there performing on that stage, you know how special it feels. So I'm absolutely stoked about it. Chris, let people know about where they can find you if they want to follow along on social media, how they find you. Did you guys get the Facebook page back? Because I know
we did. So
I know you guys have troubles there.
That was it's kind of endless trouble. You know, as it turns out, Zuckerberg won't take any of my calls. Doesn't seem like he gives too many thoughts to little old Chris. But we're the Sad Team 6 is back up and running. We had a little hack situation that came in from Australia, I'm told.
Okay.
So it was a down under hack.
Okay, a little crocodile Dundee
yeah,
action
we
there.
got rude. I don't know, but
this is a knife.
right? That was just on the other day.
Of course it was.
Yeah,
Of course it was.
that's a movie I got to get my son to watch. Some of those classics, but yeah, March 22nd, Canton Palace Theater. Get your tickets there. Sad Team 6. We're on all the social medias and sadteam6.com. By all means, check that out.
And when it comes down to it, like I said, man, there's, I think, a movement towards supporting first responders, and I think there's a movement towards creating on-ramps to mental health and advocacy for it. And the fact that this is something that covers both of those things, and that is one of those things that, you know, you can feel good going to this show because, number one, you're going to laugh your ass off, and number two, you're going to be supporting a cause that truly deserves it. March 22nd. It's going to be one heck of an event. It's going to be at the Canton Palace Theater. Shout the boys out. I know you got guys listening. I know you got, you know, supporters. I know you got people. So let them know that, you know, you're there for them.
Well, I appreciate everybody that's gotten me to this point. This is an idea I had, and I nurtured it, and then the right people came into my life to make this happen. And it's been an incredible experience. Thank you to Trevor. Thank you to Dan, who have been absolutely instrumental in making this happen. Mama Bear Wendy, who kind of keeps us all together. We have these meetings, and every 5 minutes, she's like, boys.
Bring
Boys.
it together.
Boys. They're not, yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, and we're having fun, and we're going to change things. There's so many missing pieces in the system as it stands today. We need to get guys aware of the resources that are available to them. We need to get awareness for the spouses.
The families,
the
for
families
sure, man.
are being left behind on this. There's so many things that need brought to light, and that's what we're going to do.
Representing an organization, truly making a difference. Sad Team 6 and the Canton Fire Department. Let's act like you guys aren't doing good stuff out there,
right?
Too.
Yeah.
A good friend of Mixed Mornings with Matt Fantone. Go check him out. March 22nd at the Canton Palace Theater. Dude, you got to come back soon, right?
I would love.
We got to make this a regular thing.
I love this.
That is Chris Snyder. And Chris, thanks for joining me this morning, bro.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me.